Okay, Mario, so can you give us a 60-second life story?
60 seconds. You'd be lucky if I could get it down to 60 seconds. Okay, 60-second life story is I went to a school in Gloucestershire, a little private school which was only 200 kids, so a real family feel. That was quite influential. I left that school and went to sixth form college in London, opposite end of the spectrum, big sixth form college in West London, turnstiles on the gate. Did my A-levels there. Went to UCL after that, University College London, and did astrophysics. Then I did a master's at Edinburgh. How am I doing? A PhD at Oxford after that. Then I worked at Oxford for a few years as a research scientist, and then I became an education entrepreneur. So I set up schools, colleges and companies, and somewhere within that I had a family with 3 boys. How am I doing? That was about a minute, I think.
Yeah, I think you just made it.
Okay.
So what made you set up the OIC?
The college. Why did I set up? Oh, well, there's a short and a long version of this as well. In a minute, I could answer it by saying that while I was at the University of Oxford, as both of a student and working there, I came across the sort of tutorial model of education, and that's I would describe that more as mentoring than as teaching, and I thought it was really good, and it's a very successful model that Oxford and Cambridge and a number of other universities use. And I thought, well, if it works so successfully at university level, perhaps it would also work for high school kids. So I decided to set up a school, Oxford International College, to see if that tutorial model of close mentoring and strong personal support would work for high school kids, and that was OIC. That's the short version.
The short version. Okay. And what is it that you think makes the OIC special?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. Why is it special? Well, I think part of the answer is the thing I just said, which is the tutorial system gives kids, students, really close supervision, support on a very personal level. My education philosophy is that education is not about transferring knowledge or information, but it's about the relationship. I'm really sure of that from my own experience. So if you remember a teacher that you can remember from school, for instance, somebody that made an impact on you, it probably wasn't that they were brilliant at their subject. They may have been, but it wouldn't be that possibly that you remembered. It would be your connection with them. So I think what's special about OIC is we really are interested in the relationships, one-on-one in many cases, with our pupils.
Very good. So you would say that was kind of a foundational concept of the OIC?
Yeah, I think it is.
Important?
Yeah, it's very important to me that to create a learning environment within which education happens, not to focus too much on transferring information from one person to another.
Okay. Yeah. And what would you say that OIC could perhaps improve on?
Yeah, that's a good cheeky question. The answer, I'm very focused on what we have at the college called a development plan. So I could give you a very long answer. We've got 22 action points in our development plan. But the one for me personally is where the strength of the college, and often this is true, the strength can also be the challenge. So the strength is that we have very good personal supervision and these close relationships, but a lot of it is one-on-one. So I feel that a lot of the students, we need to create opportunities for students to do more work together, so they can get together more often. They get together socially a great deal, but academically I would like to find opportunities for students to share ideas a little bit more, and we're working on that this year by having seminars and group sessions as well as the one-on-one tutorials.
Okay, that's very good. One thing I would like to know is, why did you leave NASA?
Okay, I better qualify that. I worked for the University of Oxford, and the projects that we developed were flown on NASA satellites. So I was never employed by NASA, but it was a collaboration. I'll be really honest with you about this one. There are 2 reasons. I haven't seen these questions, by the way. I was a bit rubbish as a rocket scientist. I wasn't very good, or at least I wasn't as good as some very, very clever people around me, for whom it was sort of for many of them, all that they did. They were very, very single-minded, and my skills are not like that. I was, to be honest, treading water as a rocket scientist at Oxford, and I was never feeling that I was excellent at it. So one reason was to go and find something I was really good at, my vocation, and that was very definitely education. The other answer is I'm quite mercurial, and I get a little bit bored after a few years of doing the same thing. I didn't feel that I was learning very much for myself very more, just doing the same kind of thing. So I was looking for new challenges, really.
Okay. And my last and final question is, what would you say is the best thing about being Mario Peters?
Oh. Okay, well, that's another cheeky question. Well, the best thing about being Mario Peters now, today, and the answer to that question, I might ask you the same question in a minute. I think I feel incredibly privileged to have opportunities to be creative in the areas that I really care and believe in. And so I haven't got to do a job where I have to enact somebody else's vision or plan. I'm really lucky like that. So I can come to work and I can say, today I really believe in doing this. The world will be a better place if we do this. And I can try and make that happen by engaging my staff with those ideas. So that's a real privilege. I feel that's the best thing. And there's another thing, which is I also have some little pet projects on the side, which I'm really passionate about. And I have the opportunity to pursue those. One is tennis. I've got tennis projects opening up around the world. And another one is youth leadership. So I've set up a charity called the Youth Leadership Trust in collaboration with some other colleagues here from the college. And that is, again, the best thing about being Mario Peters is I have the opportunity to pursue my ideals like that.
Okay, well that's brilliant. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.